Let's now return to Professor John Blaxland, who's joining us live from Washington with some further analysis of the situation in Israel and Gaza at the moment. John, good to see you. Apologies for those technical issues earlier. I had asked you about this hostage deal. We've been reporting that it's been delayed until Friday. What is your understanding of the role that the US and Qatar have played in these negotiations? I mean, the fact that any agreement can be reached between Israel and Hamas is a huge breakthrough, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's right. Actually, I should clarify. I'm temporarily back in Canberra, but yes, the deal is significant. But this is only a fraction of the actual number. 240 people believed still to be held hostage. 50 is only a fraction. So Hamas is playing a longer game here. They're looking to survive this war with Israel, a war that Israel is seeing as critical to eliminate Hamas as a viable institution, which is obviously very, very difficult to achieve. The role of the United States and Qatar is very significant as well. But of course, we can't forget the role of Egypt. Egypt, which neighbours the Gaza Strip, which controls that southwestern border, and which has actually been pretty reluctant to open that border to allow Gazans to escape and to allow it to be a channel for the supply of convoys of aid. People talk about Israel being the occupier. Let's not forget Israel actually stopped occupying in 2006. So the terminology, it's a really interesting point here, actually, Ashley. A lot of the media is talking about, the Gaza, the Hamas reports, or Hamas indicates, and almost as a factual matter, and the Israelis are, the wording around Israel's reports are very much conjectural. And this is a very important part of the information battle. And this is where the war will be won or lost, in my view. Israel has got an uphill climb to try and get a position where its reporting is taken seriously. A lot of reporters are taking the Hamas line pretty much holus bolus without really critically examining the source of the report, the accuracy of the report, and collaborating. So what we're seeing, in terms of the battle, makes it very difficult for Israel. And exactly what happens with this transfer of 50 hostages, it's understandable that this is delayed. Israel's got to get this right, and Hamas is looking to make Israel look as bad as possible because we're seeing the fomenting of unrest in the streets of Australia, let alone the capitals of Europe and North America. This is not going to end tomorrow by a long shot.
John, I spoke last hour with the IDF's Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, who's the international spokesperson. He did express concern that the ceasefire would allow Hamas to regroup. He said the IDF had certainly sent that message through to the Israeli government that it was worried about what Hamas would do in these few days of a ceasefire. Just how much support is Hamas getting from around the region?
So the Hamas is getting moral support from Iran in particular, but let's not forget it has been stockpiling supplies in the Gaza Strip, particularly in the tunnel network, for a long, long time. It anticipated this reaction from Israel. It maybe didn't quite appreciate the level of the fury, but it has for a long time been building up its supplies of water, fuel, medical ammunition, and so on underground. And it's allowed the people of Gaza to suffer the brunt of this on the surface, really not allowing them to get out of the way. So while a lot of the footage that we're seeing, and we're showing it right now, is deliberately evocative to make Israel look as bad as possible, Israel's in a conundrum. It knows that if it allows Hamas to remain, if it allows Hamas, this internationally recognized terrorist group, to remain in control of Gaza, it's got another fight in the future. Now, of course, that's probably going to happen even regardless if they don't come up with a political solution. And this is where I really think Egypt has a very important role to play. Let's not forget, until 1967, the Gaza Strip was governed by Egypt. And Egypt's kind of been wanting to really downplay that and its role in Gaza, in part because no one really likes to be too closely associated with Hamas until recently. Let's not forget, Hamas was a pariah organisation. The only real supporter it had was in Iran. Most of the rest of of the Middle East was happy to do a deal with Egypt, with Israel, sorry, including Egypt, and so what we're seeing is Hamas wanting to consolidate the overturning of that standard kind of view that was the case across the Middle East, and this prisoner swap, this hostage swap, is very much viewed, in my view, from the Hamas perspective, as one as containing the fallout, being seen to be moderate to media from the West that is really prepared to give Hamas incredible benefit of the doubt, and less so to Israel.
Professor John Blaxland, always appreciate your insights. Thank you.
Good to be with you, Ashley. Thank you.